Okay, so let's jump into our lab. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be utilizing the Windows 11 virtual machine bus. So you click on your File Explorer. Once you click on your File Explorer, click on this PC, then click on local disk. I'm going to be creating a folder within a local disk. I right click, then I have new. I create a folder. I'm going to call this folder finance. Okay, I'm going to call it the finance group folder. And I'm going to create another folder again. I'm going to create another folder. Then I'm going to call this, I'm going to call this folder tech group. If you didn't go through the previous lecture, please go to the previous lecture. It's gonna be useful for you to continue with this. You have to go through the previous one, to be able to understand this. Now I have my finance group and I have my tech group, right, on this folder. So previously in our previous recording, we did create a group, right? To create a group, you click on the search bar, click on the computer management. So I'm not going to go through all of this step anymore, but you have to go to the previous record. Um, so now we have the computer management, and you click on the local user and groups. There's a drop down. You click on the group. So I created this group in the previous record, and it's called the finance group, and also it's called the tech group. So I'm going to be assigning permissions for this finance group. So there's, if you click on my finance group, the finance group, you see there are members in the finance group. Franca, Peter, they are in the finance group. So these are like the employees who are employed to do job in terms of finances. And when you click on the tech group, you have John and Peter. These are employees or staff that have access to the tech group. So we're going to be assigning permission. So this finance group needs to have access to a folder, a file, an application. The tech group also need access to that. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to giving them access to the folder. Remember, we just created a folder. So I'm going to open the File Explorer again, and this is the folder. I'm going to click on it. You see, there's nothing in this folder right now. We've not assigned anybody in this folder. Okay. So once I right click that, you right click on the finance group. Then once you right click on it, click on property. Now you have the property, click on security. In this security, you find out that there is already a permission. We have the authentication user, system administrator users, and all of that in this in the security these permissions were is an inherited permissions. It means that because the local disk, which is the local disk, have this permission, and as a result of creating this file and folder within this local disk, there is an inheritance. So the folder inherited this permission. So what we're going to do, I want to remove this permission so we can start in a clear slate. So if I click on delete, edit, it's asking me if I want to remove. If I try to remove, it said you cannot remove authentication. So even if I try any of them, it's not going to allow me to remove. So what we're going to do, just click on advanced. Once I click on advanced, I'm going to disable the inheritance. So I'm going to disable the inheritance from this finance group, because this finance group inherited these permissions. So I disable, and it's asking convert inherited permissions into explicit permissions on this object. And the other one says remove all inheritance permission from this object. So I'm going to remove all, and it says you can see no group or user have permission to access this object. So this folder, there is no permission attached. So I'm just going to say apply. Then it's going to say you have denied all user access. That's okay. I'm going to do that because I am the owner of this. I have the administrative right because it's my system. So I'm going to say okay. Then I'm going to say okay. And that's it. Then I'm going to go back and say, okay, continue. Okay, so once there, I'm going to go back to this local disk, and this is the finance. I'm going to right click, then click on property. Then if you look at the security, it shows that Amaze. It means Amaze have access to all of this information. I am the administrator, so you can see I have permissions for special permission, write, read, list, folder, and all of that. Okay, so that's it. So right now I'm going to have the finance group that we created. I mean, the group that we created in this command, in this computer management. I'm going to add them to this folder. So I'm going to be adding the finance team, the team members in the finance group to this folder. They'll be able to access this folder. So I'm going to click on property again. Then I'm going to click on edit. So once I click on edit, I'm going to add. So I want to add the user to this folder. So I'm going to be adding the finance. Don't So I'm adding this group, this finance group team. Remember, they are a group of persons, employees, like I call them, or staffs, in this financial group. So I'm giving them this finance group, I'm giving them permission to use the resources in this file that I'm creating. So I'm going to give the finance group access to this profile. Okay, I think, did I spell it correctly? I think something is missing here. So it's E. So I'm giving this, and let me just ensure that. Okay, so I'm giving this team, access, this finance group access to this file. So I'm going to uh, say okay, but I'm going to modify their permission. I'm going to give this finance group permission to modify. So modification means they can read, they can write, they can delete information in the file. You know, they can read, they can execute, they can list folder content, they can modify, they can write, but they do not have special permission. It means that they cannot just add, they can add group or add anybody to the team, to this, to have access to this folder, because we need to ensure that the principle of less privilege is administered as a system administrator. So now I've added that, and I'm just going to apply. Okay, then okay. That's it. Okay. So then let's go to the other group that we created. We created a tech group. This is the tech group. So we're just going to do the same. Right click on the tech group, then property, then you go to security. We are going to disable all of these inherited permissions. To do that, you click on advanced. Then once you click on advanced, you disable and remove all inheritance and apply. And they say you've denied all user access. You're going to say yes to this, and then go ahead down, then you can right click again to the tech this time around, then property, then security. You can see there is nothing here. So I'm going to add the tech management group, the tech staff or employees to have access to this tech folder. So to do this, I will just need to click on edit. You click on edit, then you click on add. Okay, I'm supposed to still have access here. So let me close it here. I want you to see that my name is supposed to come up. We're going to be doing here the same thing for the tech group. So we've already removed the permissions. Once you right click, sorry, let me go back. I click on local disk, then I click on the tech, right click, property, sorry. So you do not currently have permissions, so continue. Go back and right click, property. Now, you see I have permission right now. So I'm going to add, I'm going to add the tech group to have access to this folder. So whatever resources in this folder, they do have access to it. So the tech group. Then I'm going to say, okay. And then I'm going to give permission. So the permission I'm giving to the tech, I'm not going to give them modification, read and execute list file. And then I'm going to give them rights, just give them rights, but I'm not going to give them special permissions. So I'm going to apply this, apply, then okay, then okay. So it means that so this right group, now, the tech group, for example, we have Johnny and Peter. Johnny and Peter have access to the files, have access to this folder. They have access to this folder that we created. Where's the folder? So this is a tech folder. So Johnny have access. Whoever is going to be in this folder, Johnny and Peter have access to it. Okay, so if I click on it and right click, and I click on property, you can just view it again. Security, you see the tech, they have access to this. So right now, the tech group, for example, we have Johnny and Peter. Johnny and Peter have access to the files, have access to this folder. They have access to this folder that we created. Where's the folder? So this is a tech folder. So Johnny have access. Whoever is going to be in this folder, Johnny and Peter have access to it. Okay, so if I click on it and right click, and I click on property, you can just view it again. Security, you see the tech, they have access to this. Some common mistake that we made is to give everyone full control, forgetting inherited permission is included, and not testing access after changes. Another thing we must know that the best way to learn how to manage your folder and role-based access control and all of that is to practice it. You can just go and create another one. You can decide to add more to this tech group. You can just click on property again and just click on security, edit. And even though it's a tech group, you can decide to add the finance group to it. So that's the best way to learn. That's the best way to learn how to add, remove, and control permissions. Folder permissions are simple but very powerful in protecting your data. If you are IT, cybersecurity, or you just share files, these keys are very, very important. And I hope that you enjoy this recording today. And if it's helpful, please hit on the like, drop your questions in the comments, and see you in the next one. and bye.